here are two pop culture references I never thought I'd make in the same sentence. ABC TV's Extreme Makeover, Home Edition, and Grammy Award winner Ashanti. But this Sunday, the delicate, carefully crafted singer will be a special guest star alongside the sometimes shrill Ty Pennington on Extreme Makeover. Sounds crazy, right? As in, what's a beautiful girl like her doing on a construction site with the likes of him? Good question. Let's find out. Ashanti, welcome to Mr. Media.
Hi, how are you? That was a great intro.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, you gotta think big. The bigger they come. So, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
So, okay, what gives? I mean, I'd expect to find you as a guest judge on, I don't know, America's Next Top Model, or even as a voice on The Simpsons before turning to Extreme Makeover. What's going on here?
Well, I absolutely adore the show. I think it's amazing. And, just to be in a position to be able to give something back to someone, I think is really special, and the Powell family, which we all will meet, well, for you guys will all meet on Sunday. It was just such a blessing to be able to be, in that position again to do something for that family. And I live in New York, and the family is in Buffalo, so, a little 30, 40-minute flight. The network called my publicist, and the publicist let us know. And the girls, the daughters were a big fan. So I said, of course, I'm jumping on the plane. So we altered our plans. We were originally coming to L.A., so we altered our plans to make the show happen, and I'm very excited.
I can hear that in your voice. Did the producers already know that you were a fan of the show, or did they just call out of the blue?
You know what? They called out of the blue. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the show, but I don't think they knew. Like, they're not like, what is Ashanti like on TV? But I think what helped is that the daughters, they were a fan. So I guess when they go in to interview the family, they kind of see who they like, blah, blah, blah. And they liked me.
Well, who doesn't? Come on, I guess people who are on the show in the future are now going to have to start thinking bigger. I really like Captain Kirk from the new Star Trek.
Yep.
That's where my daughter's head would be these days. My 13-year-old.
Oh, wow.
That Chris Pine. Thanks for taking over our house, but could you get Chris Pine to come out to the house now? So tell folks what was involved in your appearance with the Powell family. What did you do?
Well, I got down and dirty, I must say. I had on my sweatpants, I had my Uggs on, I had my hard hat on. I painted, I planted trees, I drilled outside, I sanded walls. So I definitely got into it. And it was great because the whole community got involved. There were so many volunteers, there were so many people. It was almost like they had to turn like 1,000 people away because there was so many volunteers. So it was such an amazing experience.
Did people know? I mean, you got the hard hat on and your Uggs, as you said. Did people know who you were out there, or did they figure it out?
Yeah. By the time we got outside, we're walking with I can't remember what my exact first shot was, but by the time we got outside, it was flooded. Like, a lot of people were like, oh, that's Ashanti! Oh, that's Ashanti! And it was cool because there were a lot of kids, and that was great to see also. It was great to see kids volunteering as well as adults.
Mm-hmm. Now, everything I've read about Dolores Powell, starting with this, she's a Jamaican immigrant, community activist whose home's barely livable. She's been involved with, Jesse Jackson's Push organization. She's been very involved in her community. What was she like when you got to meet her, and what if anything did you guys talk about?
She's such an amazing, strong, confident woman. I commend her on all levels. She's a single mom raising 4 kids, and she's a soldier. She's going to make it happen by hook or by crook, and she gives back herself, so that's definitely commendable. And, she didn't know what was going on. I think she had bought the house and didn't know it was on the demo list. and it was just really harsh living conditions, like holes and not a lot of furniture, and her son actually had to, like, pump sewage out of their basement up to their knees, so that, it was really like, wow, it was beyond, unfortunate, but she still had such a power about her and such a strength and such a willingness, and like I said, I admired that so much. So for me to be able to do something positive for her, it was just like a blessing.
And what, as you mentioned, there are a lot of young people out there who saw you and they were excited. What do you want them to take away from seeing that Ashanti came out and helped on this house and like you said, got down and dirty with it? It's not like you just showed up and had the pictures taken.
Yeah, hopefully it inspires them or motivates them to do the same, like it starts with one person and, it's not that hard. I took a few days and came down and helped out, so maybe the next person will say, you know what, I have a few days off, maybe I'll go do something positive for the community. Ashanti could do it, I could do it, so hopefully that spreads.
Now, just by coincidence, the day that we're talking, January 22nd, there's a big benefit concert on TV tonight for Haiti. And I don't want me to put you on the spot whatsoever, but I'm just curious, in terms of community service, have there been other things that you've been involved in over the years or that you have a continuing involvement in?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a part of the Boys and Girls Club of America. That's my charity of choice, where we've raised so much money, and I've done a bunch of things, with Feed the Kids, and I've been a part of Make-A-Wish, and I've been a part of the domestic violence. So I'm pretty, I like to give back when I can, and I like to be a part of all of that community service. And like I said, when you're in a position to do something positive, it's always great. It's always a blessing. And as far as Haiti, it is just so heartbreaking to see what's going on, you don't even want to watch it, but you have to, you know what I mean? Like, I was watching some stuff on the internet the other day, and I was crying. I'm like, I can't believe this is going on. So I'm so excited that everyone is joining together, joining forces to do this concert. Unfortunately, I was too late. We were late making the calls to make it happen. But I'm definitely going to do my own. I'm probably going to reach out to Wyclef personally and see, how to get down and how to do something, because it's just like, who can sit back and watch without doing anything,
It is. It's amazing. I mean, you'd have to have no heart at all to see these folks were struggling before the earthquake.
Exactly. That's the thing.
Yeah, it has to touch your heart.
Absolutely.
As you were, you've been in the business a while now, but as you were, getting your career going, were there other artists who you saw who had this community spirit, who had this involvement that inspired you in that way? Because not everybody is so motivated.
Right. Let me see. Who did I see that would do a lot of community work? I got to think about it. I think Queen Latifah did a lot of stuff. Halle Berry, definitely for the domestic violence. There's a lot of people. Definitely Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, Oprah, Denzel. So there are a lot of people, and I know that I'm not naming everyone, but I know that there are a lot of people, and some people do it, and you'll never know because they do it silently. Silent checks are great too.
Mm-hmm. Seems like a lot of people who are known by only first names seem to be involved. Just thinking about the names you were ticking off there: Oprah, Denzel, Angelina,
the
Brad,
one-name wonders.
Ashanti. Yeah, Well, while we have you, let's talk a little bit about what's going on with your music career. I think, now correct me if I'm wrong, that your last album was The Declaration in '08. Have I missed something in between?
Nope, you didn't miss anything. Only that I'm gearing up for 2010. I'm so excited. I have a company called Written Entertainment, which is my label, and we're firming up and just getting really, really excited about this album. I'm in L.A. now, in the studio every day. I actually have to go to the studio after this interview. So I'm just really excited, coming up with new stuff, working with new people, and just exploring. And it's really great. I actually just also signed a deal with Reveille Productions, which is they're responsible for like The Biggest Loser and Ugly Betty. So we're working on a television show that I'm going to executive produce. So I'm excited about that. And I just joined Twitter. So
Really?
I'm very excited. Yes, that was my New Year's resolution. So I joined Twitter January 1st. So you got to hit me at Ashanti, this is me.
Ashanti, this is me.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll post that. We'll add that to the interview when it posts online. So we'll make sure people get that. So what you're going back to do another album. When you start on something like this, I'm curious. Do you think, okay, these are the things I did last time, this is what I want to do this time, or do you think, okay, these are the things that were successful last time, so I want to repeat them this time?
You know what? It's both, to be honest. It's like you don't want to stray too far from your formula, but you have to stay, ahead of the curve. You have to try and do something new. You have to try and just explore different sounds and, try something out of your comfort zone, because that's what keeps people intrigued and that's what keeps people, wanting to know what you're going to do next. So it's definitely a little bit of both.
So this time you'll be covering, what, some Leonard Skinner?
I don't know about that. That may be a good idea. Let's see how we can incorporate. But you definitely got to think out of the box, especially nowadays, because, music is changing like every few weeks almost. There's a new sound every month, so.
Does that ever frighten you that, hey, I'm not the new kid, I'm not the new it girl? How do I stay in people's hearts and minds?
I wouldn't say it frightens me. I would definitely say it's a great motivator. It keeps you on your toes. You got to keep it going. You got to keep thinking. You got to keep reinventing and keep it exciting.
Now, you've worked with a lot of very big names on the production side, Babyface, Jermaine Dupri, Pharrell Williams. Will we see any of those kind of names on this project? Do you have your eyes on bringing somebody?
Well, to be honest with you, like you said, I've worked with almost everyone, all the big names. And I think what's new now and what's needed is the hot new young guys, the young 17-year-old guys that are in their basements, making beats on their laptops as we speak, because they're hungry and they have a passion and they're living the life of, just being close and being attached to what's going on, not necessarily the streets, but, what's going on outside. So I think that's kind of like where I'm going. You want to get that new young hot guy. And, of course, we're going to get the big-name producers as well. And you have to kind of just stir it up. You
women always wanting that new young hot guy. I don't know. What's wrong with a nice settled guy closing in on 50? I don't know.
in another few years.
That's so sad for me. So let's wind up here. Do you want a long? This fits into the question, actually. What you just said. Do you want a long singing career, or will there come a day when you just want to settle down, do the family thing, and say, okay, yeah, when I was younger, I was a big pop star, but now I just, I want to do this other thing. I want to.
I think just eventually, as people, we all are going to always want to evolve. And I think that my passion is always going to be music. Like, I love writing. I love being in the studio. I definitely want a family. I definitely want to settle down. Not yet, though. But I definitely, I'm a big family-oriented person. My family is very close-knit. So, yeah, I'm going to want to, the kids and the nice white picket fence, and all of that good stuff. And, I don't know if I'm going to be on stage at 60. I don't know if I'm going to have on my mini skirt and pumps at 60. But, again, when music is your passion and it's in your heart, it never goes away.
Hey, I've sat in the front row at Tina Turner shows in when she was in her 50s and I guess early 60s.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It worked. Listen, it still worked for her.
Definitely.
Well, listen, folks, you can catch the very lovely and very personable, I might add, Ashanti make a guest appearance on a very special edition of ABC TV's Extreme Makeover Home Edition this Sunday, January 24th at 8 p.m. And, of course, you can download all of her music on iTunes or MrMedia.com. We might as well point that out. And
Yeah.
Ashanti, it was delightful to talk to you, and certainly wish you continued success. And, a couple of years, if you haven't found that person, I'll be about 53. You want to give a call, please do.
Thank you so much. You are hilarious.
All right. Hey, you take care of yourself, and thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And, folks, for more interviews with your favorite music stars, you can surf over to our main website, www.mrmedia.com. That's where you can listen to my earlier conversations, much earlier, this is from many years ago, with Gene Simmons of KISS, the late John Denver, Billy Bob Thornton, and many others. And subscribe to Mr. Media on iTunes, and you'll never miss a show. Just search Mr. Media Interviews from within iTunes and subscribe for free. You can also listen with a piece of string and a tin can in many locations. Try it. It works. If you've got an idea for a guest, email me directly at bob@andelman.com. You can also follow me on Facebook or on Twitter, www.twitter.com/Andelman or facebook.com/Andelman. Thanks so much for joining us today. Always appreciate when you give a piece of your day and spend it with us. Thanks for listening.